Folk, multiple members of Congress were denied, Democrats, let's be real clear, Democrats were denied entry today to the Department of Education headquarters. Not only were they denied entry, but the Trump administration had deployed federal law enforcement officers to stop them from coming in. About 100 Democratic lawmakers showed up at the DOE building in D.C., and this was the exchange.
Members of Congress.
Article 1.
All right now. Okay. We're coming in. We're coming in. We're coming in. Don't lock the door. We're coming in. Who are you?
You're not coming in.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you, sir?
Do you have business here?
Yes. I've sent the assistant secretary a letter alerting her that we would be here today, and we've asked her for a meeting.
Yeah, I don't know that that's been accepted, so until that's accepted.
Who are you? And what do you do here?
What do you do
I
here?
have security responsibility.
Get out of the way. We pay for your job. We pay you.
We're members of
We pay
Congress.
you.
We're not
Nobody has accepted a meeting.
members of Congress.
You are.
We haven't heard that from the secretary. We haven't heard that from the spokesman.
I'm relaying that.
You are not the spokesman for the department. You are a security guard.
Can you identify?
We're members of Congress.
Where's your badge? Where's your badge?
You don't have any identification.
Where's your ID? Where's your ID?
We are not.
It's not good enough.
We are not a threat to security. We're members of Congress, and we want to ask a question.
We walk into the White House without having to go through magnetometers.
Can we get someone?
This is an outrage. This is an outrage.
I'd like to speak with someone who works here.
So what are you going to do? You're going to beat us up if we go in?
I mean, you're going to,
We want you to move out of the way.
We're not steamrolling you.
Get out of the way.
This says all access
Sure
entry.
that we can't.
Stand aside, sir.
We're
This
members
says
of
all
Congress.
access entry.
Please stand aside, sir.
I'm not standing aside.
Why not?
Because my role is to make sure that...
What authority do you have to block members of Congress from the oversight? We don't have oversight responsibilities. By what authority can you deny members of Congress their oversight role?
You don't have a business reason to be here.
You do not have authority, sir. You do not have authority.
Access entry.
There is no authority for you to deny members of Congress their oversight responsibility.
We're the
If you have an appointment and you're on a guest list, we will let you in.
Sir, can I ask you a question? You have to be on a guest list. Is what you're saying?
Or you have to have an escort.
Let me ask you a question. Can I ask my question? Are you telling me today that you have to be on a guest list in order to come to the Department of Education?
Either we are informed in advance if somebody's coming, or...
Oh, they
You
know
were
we were
informed.
coming.
You were informed in advance.
So
94 members of
to
Congress.
take you where you're going.
Sir, 94 members of Congress signed a letter asking the acting secretary for a meeting and to answer a simple question. And she is
I'm
apparently...
not aware of the meeting.
So you have to be on a guest list to enter the Department of Education.
Members of
just
Congress,
explained
we don't have to be on a
either
guest list.
On a list in advance to have access, or if you're coming, then you have to let us know who your escort is. I don't know.
That wasn't true last year. Did something change between last year?
That's always been the
No, it hasn't. I've walked into this building multiple times last year. I walked in. We were at least allowed to walk into that lobby, not stopped outside like
It's
this.
no difference. I mean, you'd be stopped at the visitors desk.
We're
Okay,
trying to
let's go.
get out of the
I'm
Congress.
doing that in advance.
No.
Why are you doing
We're allowed to go to the
We've
visitors
got 100
desk.
people out here.
We're trying to
These are members of Congress. These are
You
members
won't
of
have a
Congress.
job. We're trying to save your job. You won't have a job if we don't help you.
This is no.
You won't have any place to
This is
send
a
your
public
kids.
institution.
We're here speaking for a ton of kids from coast to coast that deserve a quality public education, and this department should stay open, and we want to share that
Sure, the
message.
leadership department's working to do that.
Yeah.
We're not so sure. That's why we're here.
That's what we want to talk to her about.
Last year, we'd be able to walk in and go to that desk.
I mean, the response I got right here, that doesn't sound like,
Sir.
it's not dangerous.
I'm going to stop you right there. No. I'm going to stop you right there and put it on the record. You did not get a dangerous response
She
here.
told me to get out of the way.
You did not get a dangerous response here, so I'm not going to let you put that narrative out there.
He can lie all
I'm not
he
going to
wants
let
to.
you
I'm
put
not
that
scared.
narrative
He
out there. I'm going to
moving.
tell you to
I'm
your
not
face
afraid
that
of
that's a
him. He can lie all
We are
he
members
wants
of
to.
Congress, as she said. What I asked you is, do we need to be on a guest list to be in?
Or
No one,
somebody coming
no
down to
one,
escort
but
you.
there
I don't
was
have
no
either.
danger or threat to you.
Go
So
get
let's just
somebody.
make
Go
sure
get
that is
somebody.
on
We
the
are allowed to go to that desk
There
right
was
there.
no danger to you.
It says all
We are
action.
allowed to go to that desk right there.
Go get
Like
somebody
I've done
to
multiple
escort us.
times in the past years.
Go get
We're allowed
somebody
go
to
that desk.
escort us in. You know this
The acting
building.
secretary, Denise Carter.
Yeah, that's who we came to
Or
see. Get someone.
chief of staff.
So what?
I said there's not an accepted meeting.
Why
Why are you not letting us into
can't
that?
we ask for one?
I'm doing it.
Why can't we go in and
Why
ask
are you
for
doing it in
one?
advance? That's not a thing. I have not seen that.
Why can't we go in and ask for one? Can you send somebody from the Department of Education here, not just a security guard?
I've explained why you're not coming.
Well, are you prepared to stand here for 24 hours with us? Are you prepared to stand here all night if we decide to stay?
I guess.
All right, well, you just stay right there. You just stay and stand.
Why are you letting us go to that desk like we were able to do last year?
He's not a U.S. employee.
This is a public institution.
Elon Musk hire you?
So are you not aware of members of Congress who have responsibilities on?
We trying to save your job.
He's not a federal employee. Just like I'm telling you. Can I see it?
Show us your badge again, let's see.
How do we know who you are?
I don't know.
around, we
I don't
can't
know.
see it.
Can we see your badge? I'm a federal employee.
You're not showing us your badge.
We're allowed to go to that visitor's desk like we have been allowed to do in past years. We are allowed to go to that visitor's
Now they're
desk.
bringing Department of Homeland Security.
They should come out.
Absurd.
They should come out.
Yeah, let them come out. Let them come out.
I know at a minimum.
We have
we are
those
allowed to
too.
go to that visitor's desk.
We have one of those too, just like
At
you.
a minimum.
Why can't we get?
He does not have one of those.
We have one of those.
He ain't got one of those.
We're members of Congress. Let us in.
We'd like you to.
We've always been allowed.
Members of Congress. We want to have a meeting.
Were you told to
with the
deny
acting
members of
secretary.
Congress entrance into this building, sir?
There's no meeting.
That's a good
Were
question.
you told to
Why
deny
did you call
members
the
of Congress
Department of
into this
Homeland
building?
Security? This is absurd.
Were you told to stand here?
Yeah, were you told to deny members of Congress from entering this building?
There's no business purpose to be here, so that's why.
There's no business purpose.
We are members of Congress.
say that with a
Many of us
straight
are on
face.
the Education Committee. How could you say there's no
Are you making a
business?
decision for the Department of Education on your own behalf? Were you told to come out here and block members of Congress?
know that we're here?
Max, ask the question again. That's important.
Were you told, are you making this decision to stand in front of this door on your own behalf, on behalf of the Department of Education, or were you told to come out here and block members of Congress from going to the desk?
my job.
So everybody's
What is that?
We're doing our jobs.
We're trying to save your job.
It's a non-responsive.
Show me your ID. Were you told to stand here, or did you decide to stand here and block members of Congress from entering the Department of Education?
to federal buildings.
My members of Congress.
We're allowed in there.
So a private security contractor
Do you know who
is
members of Congress
blocking
are?
members of
We're all
Congress.
members of Congress.
Maybe he doesn't understand. Do you
A
understand
private
who
security
members of Congress are?
contractor is making the decision to block members of Congress from a public access entrance.
I don't think he knows.
You have the authority as a
what
private
Congress is or
security
what we do.
contractor to block members of Congress. That has been knighted and granted to you.
You have to at least let us go to the desk.
Yeah.
Sending the goons out.
It's made to
Oh my, look at that. Who told you to do this? Open the door.
I'll see you now.
So do you understand who members of Congress are?
I got it, yeah.
Well,
And you don't
who
care.
are we then?
I got the job to do.
You don't care.
We have a job to do.
We're not dangerous people. We're not, I don't know, security. There are no thieves and thugs out here. We're members of Congress. We're parents, we're teachers.
Each of us.
There's our ID, right there.
We were elected to do this.
This is our
I've
job.
never seen one of
This is
those.
our job. We're doing our job.
Oh wow.
You're securing this building against who?
Members of Congress.
Who are you
The people.
protecting in
Against
this?
members of the people's
So
house
this
who
is the
represent the
beginning
people.
of full transparency of this administration.
That's right.
The administration that talked about they're going to open the doors to all of these things and show the American public what is going on. They won't even open the door to this building to
Go to the
members of
visitor
Congress.
press.
We are not posing any threat here. We are not dangerous people. We have not done
won't even
anything.
let us
We're
talk to
trying
the
to
Department of
request
Education.
a meeting, and they won't. They have a private security contractor who, on his own, is making decisions on behalf of the Department of Education.
So Congresswoman Hayes,
At the
what you're saying is they're
all-access
not, they allow billionaires and his minions to come in
I don't
to this
know who
building.
he is. I don't know who he is, but I know who I
they
am.
allow-
And I'm a member of Congress with oversight responsibilities trying to request a meeting, and a private security contractor is not allowing me to enter the building.
They allow billionaires to go in this building, but
Congressman Maxwell Frost and Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky took to social media to let the public know exactly what was happening. Here is Congresswoman Schakowsky.
I'm standing in front of the Department of Education, and a group of members of Congress want to go in to discuss any plans that the president or Elon Musk may have to diminish the rights of students. What have they done? They have locked us out. And as I look inside, there are several policemen there to prevent members of Congress to go in, and a man standing in front of the door who won't even tell us who he is. This is disgusting.
Congressman Maxwell Frost also live streamed exactly what was happening.
Hey everybody, I'm here with multiple members of Congress. We're here to go to the Department of Education to fight for education, and they have locked the doors. They're not letting us in. It says all access entrance. There's this random guy out here who's refusing to let us in.
His name is
And right
Jim
here,
Harefield.
what's his name?
His name is Jim Harefield.
And right here, they have armed officers as well, acting like we're dangerous. A year ago, I'd be able to walk into this building and not be locked out. This is what they're doing. Elon is allowed in, but not you, not your elected representatives, not parents, not students. Elon can go in, his goons can go in, but not the representatives of the people.
Folks, Congresswoman Summer Lee of Pennsylvania posted this. I went to the Department of Education to demand answers as Trump and Musk aim to dismantle it. Republicans never miss a chance to claim they're the defenders of children, but when it comes to making sure kids have an education that sets them up for success, they are nowhere to be found. Folks, this is happening all across Washington, D.C., but also across the country. What Donald Trump and his co-president Elon Musk have unleashed is a dictatorship. Literally, a coup is taking place right before us. Now, there are people out there who are on the right who say, oh, how dare you use the language of a coup. But do understand, the people who this one security guard denied entry to the place, and his name is Jim Harefield. He is the Education Department's Deputy Assistant Secretary for the Office of Facilities and Logistics. Now, here's what's crazy here. To suggest that he can prevent duly elected members of Congress from entering a federal building by saying, well, you need an escort, is utterly nonsensical. That's as if you or I decides to come to Washington, D.C., and if we go to the Cannon building or any of the buildings that house the House members and the Senate members, do understand, every single one of you has a right to walk into that one of those buildings, go through security, literally walk to the office of your member of Congress. So for me, in the 30th Congressional District of Texas, is Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. I, as a constituent, have the right to decide to go to that building where her office is, walk in, walk to her congressional office, walk up to the desk of the assistant and say, I would like to speak with my congresswoman. But what co-president Elon Musk and co-president Donald Trump are doing, that twice impeached, criminally convicted felon, what they're saying is, Your members of Congress do not have the right to meet with anybody in this administration, to question anything, and they can't even step foot in the building. And behind him, you didn't see it, were several other security guards. My panel, Michael Imhotep, hosts the African History Network show in Detroit. Matt Manning, civil rights attorney out of Corpus Christi, Texas. Dr. Zachary Kirk, educator and content creator out of Atlanta. Glad to have all three of you here. I mean, what people need to understand what's going on here, and it's not understating this. And man, I'll start with you. They don't care about civil rights. They don't care about labor rights. They don't care about any of that. They are intruding. They are firing everyone left and right. Elon Musk has access to the personal data of millions of Americans. And one of the things that is absolutely crazy to me as this thing begins to unfold is that they also announced, I'm going to pull this up, and y'all got to trip just to understand what's going on. How these folks are operating. They literally have announced that they're treating Elon Musk, the co-president, totally different than, frankly, anybody else. Let me pull this up here. Wait till y'all see this here. And that is, they were asked at the White House, if you want to know what kind of special dispensation he has, Matt, what they've decided, I'm going to show this tweet, so give me a second. Y'all won't believe, well, y'all probably, you will believe this because it's been happening, but they have designated Elon Musk as a special employee. So he's listed as a White House official says Musk is an unpaid government employee who is not a commissioned, I'm going to pull up in a second, but who is not a commissioned, let's see if I can still try to get this up so y'all can see it. Give me 1 second. While I'm trying to connect it, I want to go ahead and read it. He is a special government employee who is not a commissioned officer. He will file a confidential financial disclosure report. So his financial disclosure report won't even be public. But if you're a federal worker, yours has to be public. But he's an unpaid special government employee, Matt.
Yeah, and from what I understand, that means he's supposed to have, a certain period of time that he's allowed to do this job. I think it's 800 and some odd days is how it's customarily done. But, that's a subterfuge. Look, what we're seeing right now is we are seeing a continuing pushing of the boundaries and descent to authoritarianism. I mean, all that's really being asked right now is how much will the American people take before there's a real pushback, a real revolution? Because the idea that democratically elected members of Congress cannot get access to a public building is absurd. I mean, when I was in college, I worked on Capitol Hill in the Cannon building, just like what you were talking about, right? And what would happen? Constituents would come every day and go through security. They'd be vetted and they'd go right to their public office. The fact that a dude in a polo is standing in front of these doors telling democratically elected people that they can't come into the building should be terrifying. But what's happening right now on Fox News is they're calling Maxine Waters and all of them unhinged and talking about how Trump and his policies have the Democrats scurrying, and they're spinning it to look like people we have elected to do our business are somehow doing something unhinged by trying to do that business. This is the tip of the iceberg. And frankly, the only question we should be asking ourselves is how much longer are we going to let this kind of thing happen before people are just forcing entry into buildings? I mean, frankly, like the idea that a dude in a polo can keep out elected congresspeople is absurd. And it is proof positive of exactly the kind of thing that we go around the world saying we're trying to prevent through military action, right? All the time. We go around the world talking about anti-democratic action and why the United States is here to save the day. And in real time, we are watching that exact thing happen in the United States when Elon Musk and his cronies are given full access to data that otherwise people with high security clearances would have access to. This is, I mean, it's unprecedented, but it's terrifying, frankly.
And Michael, we absolutely know, we know 100% that if Democrats had blocked the doors and prevented Republicans from being able to enter any government building, Fox News, Megyn Kelly, Ben Shapiro, all of them would be going absolutely crazy 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so those thugs at those media outlets, they don't give a damn either. They all are a part of the same fascist system.
Absolutely, and that's why Donald Trump took so many people from Fox News, white nationalist TV, and put them in his administration, like Caroline Leavitt, White House press secretary, like Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense. But I have to, I disagree with you a little bit, Roland. These Republicans in the Trump administration, they do care about civil rights. That's why they are specifically targeting them and erasing them. That's why he rescinded Executive Order 11246 from President Lyndon Baines Johnson in 1965, which is called affirmative action. They are specifically targeting it. Now, when we look at what's going on with the Department of Education, he signs an executive order to shut down what was created by Congress. This is Chapter 11 of Project 2025. Deals with dismantling the Department of Education. This is what conservatives have wanted to do since President Carter signed it into law in 1979. And one of their arguments is that they feel, even though the Department of Education does not set curriculum, contrary to popular belief, they have been making the argument that the federal Department of Education is overstepping their authority when it comes to certain issues. And a lot of this has to go back to dealing with segregation and desegregating schools, things of this nature. So this is what we've been warning Black people about. And one of the things they want to do is they want to stop student loan forgiveness. OK, and you're going to see them going after funding for HBCUs as well. We know under Biden-Harris, we got $17 billion for HBCUs from 2021 to 2024. You're not going to see anything like that coming from the Trump administration. So this is what we were warning people about. And even though the president can't technically dismantle a department that Congress created, but with Elon Musk controlling the Treasury payments, $6 trillion in Treasury payments, what happens if they just cut off funding to the Department of Education and starve it? These people don't care about the law. But as Dr. Greg Carr has told us a number of times, there are no rules. One of these days, we're going to learn that.
Zachary?
There are no rules. I agree 110% with Michael. Because if there are rules, it would be clearly made known that Elon Musk is in violation of the Hatch Act. Even as a special advisor who is unpaid or whatever the position that they've created for this man may be, he is in violation of the Hatch Act when he is sitting here doing 2,000 tweets in one day, as he did yesterday, while still being a part of a governmental agency. Even with limited responsibility to the Hatch Act, he's in violation. So what we're seeing is indeed a takeover. Like Michael said, it's a complete coup where we have this oligarch and his team, these multi-billionaires, coming in, dictating the needs and the wants and what's best for the American people. And a president who is co-signed to do it because he wants to ensure that he never went to jail in the first place for the crimes that he committed. So therefore, he was able to let these people buy their way into positions of power that they should have never been given. Congress has the oversight authority to monitor what's happening in governmental agencies like the Department of Education. The fact that these elected leaders, elected by the people, were not given the opportunity to go into a building to oversee what's happening in that building, especially when they're being bombarded with calls from their constituents, is shocking. It's shocking. And I think we're seeing an absolute, what many people are saying, a constitutional crisis slowly beginning to unfold.
Well, absolutely. Again, they don't care about oversight. They don't care about anyone checking them. And so their whole strategy is to completely do whatever they want, and they want people, getting caught up in the games of DEI and other stuff. And what they're trying to do, they're making unilateral decisions as it relates to what needs to get funded, and again, outside of Congress.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. And right now, we're accepting investors in our $17 million round to revolutionize the future of social media. Today, for just $399, you can own 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. While the big platforms have grown too massive and disconnected from their users, Fanbase is building a platform where creators and users truly come first. We've already raised $4.8 million from everyday investors who believe in this vision, and now you can join them. This is your chance to invest in a social media tech company with over 1 million users that is disrupting media by allowing anyone to reach all of their following and monetize their content from day one. The market is changing, big platforms are failing to serve their users, and Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now. Invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the future of social media.